Welcome to our Borrego Springs house. And Otis, I gotta say, I don't know anybody else that could have transformed our dreams into reality like you did. Basically, helping us take a 1973 disaster, a house that had yellow cordon tape around it, multiple broken windows, not one wall was solid. The plumbing, the electrical, everything had to be replaced. I mean, it was a disaster. When I shared pictures of it, people said, "Oh, it looks like something out of Breaking Bad," and it really did. And now we are breaking ground, I like to say, because it's absolutely stunning. Now, this exterior entryway is something that we work together to transform into really a grand entrance to the house. And one of our dreams was basically to make the house feel like a country club or a beautiful restaurant that you were entering, something grand. All along the way, what really impressed me with working with you is having a vision like, oh, by the way, Otis, I've got 1930s Italian lamps that I want to put on the ceiling, and I want to make it look like a marquee in a theater. And we worked together, and you made it a reality, which I can always appreciate. Looking at what was once a solid wall, all along here in the exterior entryway, and saying, Otis, I just got a Cliff May entrance gate from a mid-century house that's being destroyed. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I drove to Glendale to get it. And we worked together and incorporated it as a beautiful entry element. I mean, this is just a beautiful screen when you come in. Even working together, and you helped me hide the original gate handles by putting lighting into where the gate handle was. If you remember that.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah. So, coming further into the house, along the back of what was to be the bar that we wanted to build, which is a 10-foot bar, we also didn't want a solid wall. And yet, that artwork that we wanted to display. So I was able to draw out on paper a form of what I wanted to see, and you put it to pencil, and you put it to reality. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Even our little bartender, I had this copper pipe on a piece, and you were able to take that and make it into the multiple eyes of our little bartender robot.
Yeah.
So Robbie the bartender. Then coming in, this sunroom was an absolute disaster. The entryway into it was a really low, kind of bizarre archway, and above it was a very, very heavy original HVAC that you were able to work with us on, getting rid of the arch, reforming it in more of a mid-century style, and then working with this Norwegian pine, which is throughout to help warm and really define the space, which you were able to do. I remember when I found these mirrors, and I wanted to have the effect of sort of a Sinatra-esque look to it, and you were able also to put that into effect. And the funny thing is, people ask me all the time, well, what's behind there? Do you have cameras? Is somebody looking at us? I'm like, no, it's just about, you looking at yourself and seeing yourself there. The sunroom's really beautiful. The Norwegian pine turned out beautifully. And when we were looking at, what kind of finish do we want to put on this? And you came up with the perfect solution, which was keeping it very clear and putting just a satin finish, nothing too shiny and nothing too dull. And it really worked out perfectly. And let's not forget that every window and every door had to be replaced. And I appreciate so much the work that you did on all the doors and windows. We took 3 existing slider doors and made them into these French doors. And we took 5 windows and made them into further French doors because we wanted to increase the indoor-outdoor livability of the home. So over here, with one of my other ideas, I had these old late 1960s doors, and we conspired to use it to hide the side of the refrigerator. You remember back that I didn't want people to enter the home, and the first thing they saw was a refrigerator.
Yes.
And so we did a couple of things working together. The screen that I also already had, you incorporated that beautifully into the countertop to the roof. And let's not forget the 10-foot bar. So the goal was to create an entertaining kitchen, a kitchen where we could have friends, have cocktails at the bar, and whiskey could throw our bones around. And then we could sit multiple people around the kitchen as well for cooking. And that really came through beautifully. Now, the house originally had very low, very flat popcorn ceilings. And the kitchen even had a drop down, something like, it looked like it was out of the Starship Enterprise, where they used to, teleport into, and it was a drop down. So the ceiling was even lower in the kitchen. And every other contractor I talked with said, oh, you can't take a low arched ceiling like that and put a vault in it. And you were the first person that said, sure, I can do that. So we worked together and made it a reality, and it turned out so beautifully. It's beautiful by day, it's beautiful by night. We pierced it in several locations with skylights. This was a very dark house to begin with, and you made it so full of light. Another one of those, Otis, could you, was put in a lighted soffit because we wanted to have that beautiful light glow at nighttime. And so you were able to beautifully incorporate the soffit, even to the extent, one of the only things that we kept in the entire house was this stone fireplace fascia. And you were able to cut the Norwegian pine all around those rocks absolutely beautifully. In fact, I always point that out to people because it's so spectacular when you walk in and you see that. And then as you look across, you've got just this incredible entertainment space. And it's hard to believe that at one point we had brand new electrical, and then fruit rats got in through an open, broken part of the old broken house vent on the roof. And they got in and ate all the electrical, and we had to completely replace the electrical. And you were able to build down the center of this room a raceway for the electricians to run all the wiring, which was just fantastic. Plus, we have a great storage area, and it's lighted above. Another one of my Otis could you ideas that you went right with, that I really appreciate, is we want a great airflow from the living room, dining room into this bedroom here. And so we said, let's leave the wall open in between the two. And you were able to do that beautifully. Then I think this is also really something neat, that you were able to incorporate some of the Cliff May bubble wall in this location. So people, when we're entertaining, have friends over, whatever, and people are coming in and out of the bath, they're able to do that really nice and privately. So that all really came together beautifully. We couldn't be any more happy. You really transformed our dreams into reality, and for that we're forever grateful.